There. That'll to do it.
Thank you. That's great.
No, my pleasure. Now, if anything else goes wrong, please, you've got to let me know. I'm going to get out of here before your lunch guests arrive.
Oh, Duke, my guest is already here. I made lunch for you for being such a great landlord.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you, but you don't have to do that. Listen, I have a club to run, and it's Angel's Day off, and I should...
When was the last time you had a good meal? No, when was the last time you ate at all?
Well, to be honest with you, I really haven't thought much about food recently.
Yeah, I know you're sick with worry, but if you don't eat something, by the time Anna gets back, you're going to be sick with something else.
Yeah, you're very kind. I suppose it's true, really. All I do is worry about both of them. I can't imagine what Robin must have seen to make her the way she is just now. She obviously saw her mother get hurt or something. And I just... Well, yeah, it's driving me pretty crazy. Punishment like this, I wouldn't even devise it for my worst enemies, it's true. I'm sorry. I'm babbling on. I'm sorry.
No, really, it's all right. I think you need to talk.
Was this what you Americans call, talking the whole thing out, yeah?
Yes, it's supposed to be therapeutic. You know, if you keep your pain inside, it eats away at you. It's like poison.
Yeah, maybe. I suppose I thought we were blessed. Anna, Robin, and myself. Now we were so happy together, but it seemed to be more of a victory of circumstances than it ever was a marriage.
It's not in the past.
No? Well, the glory days, they're certainly over. Even if Anna comes back tomorrow alive and well, there'll never be such a thing as an innocent knock on the door. Or the child will never go out to play, but I'll probably worry myself to death. No matter how much love there is, I think the simple days are over.
That's sad. I'm sorry.
You're very kind. This therapy of yours, it might just work.
Well, it really won't have done its best unless you stay and eat something. It's just a snack, really. Will you, please?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Thank you, I will. Please.
I heard about Pickle Island before I got back, but it's better than I thought. I gotta hand it to you ladies. Running your own business and making a profit to boot?
Oh, you should have heard Edward when we first started out. You'd have thought we were trying to fly by flapping our arms.
He was not polite, but it worked out all right.
Excuse me. I hope I'm not interrupting, but my luncheon date canceled out on me, so I thought I would race home and say hello to Scully.
Well, of course, dear. Sit down. Jennings.
Yes, ma'am. Would you like some soup, Doctor?
What kind?
Cream of watercress.
Oh, well, okay. So, how have you been, Scott?
Fine, Monica. Never better.
Good, good. I hear when you left here, you went to Richmond and ended up in, what, Florida?
That's right, but that humidity down there drove me crazy. Of course, there is a lot of development going on down there, and it's sort of a haven for contract pushers like myself. Oddly enough, though, I got mixed up in the hospital business, hospital construction and development.
That's a business, too, as Edward is always insisting.
Yes, yes, it is. Now, Monica, I have heard that you have become one of the top surgeons here in this state.
Well, I don't know about that, but things are going very well.
Well, that's good. And what about Rick Wepper? You heard about the
Yes.
clinic that he's got in New York City?
Of course I have, and I envy him. It's the best coronary care north of Houston.
You know, with your skill and your reputation, and with the right financial backing, you could have the same thing right here in this town.
You know something, Lila? You should really have invited Scott over for lunch much earlier than this. It's absolutely brilliant. Tell me more.
Oh,
Money
my
and
goodness.
buildings to start with.
Well. Every time for a couple of crusts of bread.
Oh, of course, dear. Come and sit down. Well, what a lovely surprise. Jennings.
Right away, madam.
John.
What has happened to all those little business meetings?
Well, Dan and I had finished hammering out the budget for next year, and I ran in down in the hall.
Yeah, Father said it was absolutely crazy for us not to at least come home and say hello to Lee's son.
I thought you were supposed to see our accountant.
Yes, I was, but I had to get some figures from you first anyway. Besides, there's plenty of time, Monica.
Well, I hope you didn't miss anything on the budget meeting on my account, because I've learned over the years the hard way that if a hospital budget isn't balanced right, it's very hard to fulfill the medical needs.
I've been saying the same thing for years, and when do people listen? When it's almost too late.
What do you mean? General Hospital's not in financial trouble, is it?
Oh, no, not a bit, thanks to me and to Dan Rooney, of course.
Well, I'm sure that you two are using the newest of financial management tools.
Oh, yes, state-of-the-art and everything. In fact, we have a computer now who handles our investment who's smarter than Bernard Baruch.
Tax-free bonds, narrow-line bonds.
Excuse me, what? I've never heard of that. What are narrow line bonds?
They're bonds that are printed on paper with very, very narrow lines.
I must admit, we haven't done a lot with narrow-line bonds. How do you use them? Huh?
Well, it's where a large institution like General Hospital sells bonds that are separate from regular hospital bonds to create a new enterprise, such as, say, the Quartermain Leukemia Research Center or the Coronary Care Center, something like that. And they build specific buildings that have a high profile and a good cash flow.
So you mean that you go on expanding the hospital without seeming to interfere with the normal fundraising?
Or budgeting.
Right, exactly. And it also opens up new careers for people that are a little more career-oriented.
Yeah, sounds like the way to go if you can sell the bonds.
Turns out that's the easy part.
Isn't it wonderful that all the Quartermains could manage to be here after all? This is a real homecoming for you.
Yeah, well, and I couldn't be happier. And to get such a warm welcome. Thank you for having me today. Lucy? Charlene? Anyone home?
Hey, how you doing?
Fine.
You must be Tony. Tony Jones, right?
Yeah, what do you want?
I don't want anything. Well, maybe sit down for a while. You don't know who I am, do you?
No, I don't.
I'm Lucy's cousin.
So good.
You know, if you don't have enough sauce over there, I could get you a whole bottle of ketchup to just pour all over your salad.
Oh, come on. Taste it. This is not ketchup, it's horseradish sauce.
It's ketchup. Why else would it be so red?
Well, it beats me. But believe me, America was built on ketchup, not lemon juice lightly sprinkled over shrimp.
Well, pardon me if I like the taste of the shrimp.
So, when are we going to discuss the Hardy Revel domicile? I promise you, wherever it may be, I will never leave a bottle of ketchup on the table.
Okay. Why don't you start again by explaining to me what you have against us beginning our lives in a nice new home?
I have nothing against it. Just like I have nothing against a 3-month honeymoon in Italy, but I can't afford either one.
You know this is not going to be an old-fashioned marriage, right? With Daddy bringing home the bacon and Mom there cooking and sewing, right?
Simone, you have a trust fund. I think it's great for you. It gives you freedom and independence, but walk in my shoes for a minute. I want to be your equal partner.
Isn't that what I said? That what's mine is yours?
It's not the same thing.
Okay, let's, reverse the situation.
All
Let's
right.
say you have the trust fund, I do not. Okay? Now, would you hesitate to buy the condo if we wanted it? Would anybody think it was strange? I don't think so. So, your trust fund, my trust fund, it's the same money. Come on.
But I wouldn't do that if you felt peculiar about the situation.
Touche. I agree. Okay.
Your money's in the bank. It's earning interest. It's there for emergencies, for kids, for a down payment on an apartment or a condo or whatever you want. But I say we finish out our residencies. We establish a professional base, and then next year we buy a place of our own, a new place.
But do you know how tiny that apartment is in the brownstone?
All right, try this. A larger apartment,
medium-priced, near the hospital.
Well, that sounded a little bit better. I mean, I don't have a lot of furniture to bring in.
But you do have a trust fund.
So, Bobby will have a vacancy at the Brownstone now. But you realize with Jake gone, that's the last thing she needs.
Oh. I'm glad you reminded me of that. You know what we can do is... About the only thing we can do is just give her notice. We'll stay in the apartment until she finds a new tenant. What do you think?
Sounds good. You know, I think you should change your profession.
Oh?
Yes, because you are just a major diplomat.
Well, when you're the luckiest man in the world, you can see things very, very clearly.
Yeah.
Stuff is killer, Simone. It's so good.
Sergeant Colton Shore, Tony. Well, actually, I'm not a sergeant anymore. Uncle Sam and I just kissed each other goodbye yesterday afternoon, and here I am.
Lucy never said she had a cousin. Is she expecting you?
Listen, do you mind if I come in?
Thanks. No.
Isn't that just like Lucy, not to tell you this time? Boy, she sure does love a secret. But then I guess you know that about her by now, huh? I have to congratulate you on marrying her. Boy, she is one great-looking little girl, and smart as a fortune cookie, too.
She's not here right now. I think she'll be back soon.
Boy, I can't wait to see her, now that she's all grown up and married and everything. See, Lucy's always been more like a little sister than a cousin to me. Well, of course, you knew we grew up together.
No, I didn't.
Sure. Mama raised us both after Lucy came to live with us, and, you know, I was kind of tough on her growing up. Well, kids will do that. Remind me to ask her forgiveness for that, will you?
Yeah.
So, if Lucy isn't here, is Mama around?
Why would your mother be here, Colton?
Mama. You know, Lucy's Aunt Charlene.
Aunt Charlene.
Charlene Simpson. She's been writing me from here for months. She's been staying with you, and she's really grateful, too. I can see by the look on your face that I've just blown their whole surprise for you, haven't I? They have been keeping you in a total dark.
Hello.
Tony, it's Amy. You know those x-rays that you ordered on Dr. Hardy? I know you wanted to see them right away, and they're ready now.
Yeah, I'll be over. Yeah, I'll look at them right now. Thank you. You know something? I've never heard of you. And I have no idea what Charlene means by saying that she's my wife's aunt. But I'm going to talk to her about it. And as for Lucy, you know, she never told me she had a cousin. She never said anything about
Doc,
Marines.
Don't try driving without a clutch. I mean, you don't know who I am, and why trust my homely face,
I
right?
don't.
I don't blame you for checking things out. Here, I've got a letter here. It's from my mama. Explains everything about how you and Lucy invited her to stay here as your guest. Great. Check it out.
Go to the hospital.
Well, now that you know who I am, you don't mind if I just kind of hang around and wait for Mama, do you? I guarantee that everything will be sitting right here just as you left it when you come back.
You can hang around.
Thank you.
You do me a favor.
Sure.
Will you tell Cousin Lucy and Mama that I want to talk to them the second they get here?
Yes, sir. You drive carefully now. Place. Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. Done all right for yourself, haven't you? You and Mama both. I'll just bet that you're going to be surprised to see me, though, aren't you, Lucy?
Tonight, Eastwood turns on the heat in the toughest, dirtiest fight of his life. Clint Eastwood stars in Firefox, the ABC Thursday night...